Hi, Damon.
Hello, Curt.
How's it going?
It's going well today, man.
Hey, happy Tuesday, dude.
It's a great day. It's a great day, and it looks like you're on site with another cool company. So let's get this thing rolling.
Yeah, you can see in Seattle. We're hanging out in Chicago. More deep dish pizza that you're missing out on. So, hey, happy Tuesday. Welcome, everybody. So I'm handing off to Nicole. I'm going down on the floor. So you guys take it away. And so, Damon, thanks for joining us. Nicole.
Oh, my goodness. Curt, get down to the floor.
See you, David.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
Damon, it's just you and me and this crew of amazing folks at Underdog Apparel Redefined. And we just spent the last hour just walking through their facility. And Damon, it's pretty amazing what they're doing here. Curt's going to go down with one of the team members there and show this amazing new equipment. You can see it right there. It's called the Rock. Mm-hmm. And it's direct to garment printing. And so this is like state of the art. So excited to be able to show you this. But most importantly, really excited to have this amazing team here. We've got John Leroy. He's the CEO of Apparel Redefined and Underdog Apparel. We've got Jaclyn with IMEC. Hi, Jaclyn. How you doing? Hi, John.
How you doing?
Welcome. And then we've got DB, right? DB
yes.
over there.
DB.
And then we've got Nick, who's the Director of Operations here. And we're so excited to have everyone on the program today. Just really looking forward to dive in and learn all about what's happening with direct-to-garment printing and all the amazing work that John's doing. How you doing today, John?
Doing well. I just want to thank you guys for coming out.
Yeah.
It's been great working with Curt and IMEC. And we're just really excited you're here and happy for the opportunity to go live with you guys.
Yeah, we're so excited to be here. This is amazing. So one of the first questions there's Curt down there, but look at Hi, Curt. How you doing?
Out. He's like, oh man.
This is so fun for us. We get to be in two places at the same time, man. Yeah. We're like, this is amazing. So Curt the first question he always asks, and I feel like I've got to ask it. So Curt, I'm going for it. John, this is the first question we always ask on every show. So we want to know, when you were a little boy, growing up, who was your hero?
Well, like action hero.
And whatever, like who comes to mind, we get all kinds of answers on the show. So, some people do say they have action heroes. Like, what did we have last week? Someone said, oh man, who have we got? A lot of people say their dad. A lot of people say, musicians.
Yeah, there's definitely my dad for sure. But like an obscure cartoon I watched getting ready for hockey all the time was called Pro Stars.
Oh,
I don't know if you remember it. It was like on for like 2 or 3 years. It was Michael Jordan, Wayne Gretzky, and Bo Jackson. They all had like unique powers, but it was like, the best in all sports. It only was on for maybe 2 or 3 years, but it was like my favorite cartoon because all three of those guys were my heroes. So yeah, I mean, and they're real people too, but it was like, the action hero, the ball came out of Bo Jackson's bat and the puck came out of Gretzky's stick. And I forgot what Jordan did. I mean, other than like jump through.
Win championships.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, win championships. That's what he did.
In baseball,
right. Very cool. Very cool. So you grew up playing both sports. Mm-hmm. Very nice. Yeah. Awesome. Yeah, all right, cool. Jaclyn, who's your hero?
Who's my hero? Oh, I was on the show, 6 months ago, Damon? My hero was my grandmother.
Oh, very nice. Very nice. Yeah. All right, you're on the hot seat, DB.
Growing up, I don't know. I can at least say I wanted to be a Dallas Cowboy kicker when I was about 5, and I don't know why, but I just like punting around the yard.
After Romo dropped the snap?
Oh, yeah.
Well, at least you didn't say Dallas Cowboy cheerleader.
Yeah.
So your hero was yourself as Dallas
absolutely.
Cowboys
I had big dreams for the
yeah. There you go.
Very nice. And now you're making dreams happen every day here.
Yeah, absolutely.
Awesome.
Love it here.
All right, last but not least.
Outside of my father, it would probably been Jordan.
Yeah. Michael Jordan?
Yeah. Michael Jordan, yeah.
Yes, the GOAT of all time,
yes,
right?
Definitely.
The GOAT.
Way better than
you guys are in the area where that's just so cool to be able to be there and around there when those guys were playing, man. That was just a time, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. Even if you weren't into basketball.
Oh yeah.
My height.
Hey, Nicole.
Hey.
Hey, can you hear us?
I can. Yeah.
What did Derek say? I heard Dallas Cowboys. Did I hear that correctly, Derek?
I did.
You heard that? Yep.
Like, not the Chicago Bears. Come on, man.
I am a Vikings fan too to this day.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my!
Football.
Yeah.
Traitor.
Oh my!
Everyone has a different football team here.
Good
Oh,
answers,
my.
guys.
I
Good
think I'm gonna
answers.
have to drop off right now.
Oh man.
We're all division rivals in football.
Right. Yeah.
I grew
nice.
up in South Dakota, a Bears fan, so it
The
was
Bears.
a tough life.
Tough life indeed.
It will be. It will be too for a little longer.
They're going to be good. 12-5.
Yeah.
Well, cool. Well, John, I think we'd love to just start and hear a little bit more about your background.
Sure.
What brought you to this industry? Tell us a little bit about what you're doing. Maybe let's start with you. Tell us a little bit about what you're doing here at Underdog and Apparel Redefined, and then we'd love to hear about your entrepreneurial story and how you ended up where you are.
So Apparel Redefined, we, for lack of a better term, we put logos on things, through all different types of methods, right? We do traditional screen print, we do embroidery, we do laser etching, we do direct to garment. Soon we'll be getting into a process called DTF, direct to film. We do sewing, we do twill work, mainly focused on the athletic space. That's kind of where we got started. Do a lot of work for Under Armour, Nike, Adidas, a lot of on-field apparel. You turn on TV on Saturdays in college football season, you'll see our stuff on the sidelines or in game. And in Underdog Apparel, that side of it was really kind of born right before the pandemic, but then really thrown into necessity with the pandemic. What we're wearing today, this is how people go to work, polos, golf attire type stuff. My dad my dad started working, for corporate sales in the 70s and 80s, shirt and tie, suit every day. And that's kind of phased out. So one of the ways too that you see buzzword in the industry is culture. One of the ways big companies try and promote their culture is through branded apparel. So even when everyone's moving out of the office and working remotely, one of the ways they can try and keep that brand identity was sending merch, hats, polos, quarter zips, that type of stuff. And the markets that we're serving with Apparel Redefined weren't being totally served for the business, like for companies 500 employees or more. So we're like, let's reach out to them too, because there was only really a couple options serving, those type of companies. And our mission was, not everyone starts out as a top dog, and we were the underdog, essentially going after the Cintas's, the Land's End, that type of stuff. So we were going to help those companies that are like maybe 50 to 100 employees become the dog, because you don't always start out as the guy. You gotta climb the ropes and earn your stripes. And we wanted to help companies build their brand, build their presence. We felt that there was a big need for that. So we started that in 2019, right before the pandemic. We launched Underdog Apparel.
Love it. That's really cool.
Yeah.
And how did you get involved in this business? Tell us the story.
It's pretty crazy. I mean, I was always pretty entrepreneurial. Typical lawn mowing businesses. Here in the Midwest, we call it bags. Out east, it's called cornhole. I was building bag sets and cornhole sets, and I was never really able. I was fortunate enough to be able to play, two sports all the way through college, so it was very tough to have a full-time job. So anything I wanted, I had to side hustle and kind of do my own thing, and I did it all the way through college. And I just knew that my coolest class in college, because that's 2005, 6. That's when entrepreneurship became a buzzword, right? And my coolest class was just listening to war stories. They just started an entrepreneur program when I was a senior, and they didn't have any formal curriculum. It just had business owners that went to John Carroll come in and just talk about essentially war stories. And I'm like, I really want to do this. I have no idea what I want to do. I just know I want to do something that I wasn't being prepared for in school. Because you go through corporate finance, they're preparing you to be a cog in someone else's wheel, right? And I'm like, I don't want to go work for GE. I want to work for GM. I don't want to go work for the big four accounting firms. And that's what they were preparing you for. So decided to do this. Long story short, my dad's best friend owned a sporting goods store. And I was interviewing downtown when I got back from college. And I stopped in the store and he's like, do you want to work with me in a t-shirt company? I'm like, I don't know anything about it. I just know we always, playing baseball, had great uniforms and everything. Yeah. And he was worried because a competitor of his was potentially going to buy this out. And he was worried that they were going to price him out of the market. Yeah. I was like, why don't you just go work there for 5-6 months, see if you like it. And that's when I met Nick. I showed up there and man, to think where we were and where we are now and where we're going to continue to go, it's amazing. Because I mean, when we were there, it was 4 or 5 people.
Yeah.
All the technology.
Mostly things were hand built, so
Yeah,
it was pretty much like a hobbyist garage style type place.
And the old company was A&R Custom Monogramming and Screening. I mean, that's a freaking mouthful, right? You know,
Yeah.
our business card was this big, and the whole thing was like the name. Like, we got to shorten that because A&R stood for the original owners, Angie and Rich. They started in 1970 in their basement, grew to what it was. And at that point, when we were in, it was like mainly just small local fire, police, some local rec teams and stuff like that. But if you think about 2005, 2006, that's when Nike, Under Armour introduced dry fit fabric, right?
Yeah.
And no one knew how to hell print it. And I was a high school baseball coach back where I played high school ball. And recruiting, I mean, you see it now. Like, you have Oregon in the West Coast, which is Nike, and you have Maryland on the East Coast, which is Under Armour. And they literally have a new uniform every game. And that's how they recruit, you know, through merch. So I was trying to, like, man, I want the coolest stuff because I want my kids to come to our school.
Yeah.
But no one could print it. You know, you'd print a black T-shirt, and then it would, what in our industry you call dye migration. You print white on a black, and somehow it would turn red. And it's like, what the hell is going on? We need to figure this out because no one wanted to touch it. It's expensive stuff, number one. And then no one knew how to print it. The inks weren't formulated yet. So we're like, let's figure this out. And like, kind of haphazardly, we decided to kind of carve our niche there. And we really became known, you know, first regionally, then, you know, growing to the 7, 8 states around us. And then really through COVID, where we didn't shut down a day, we didn't skip a beat. And a lot of business down south came organically up to us. So now we're nationwide, and really, really focused from the Apparel Redefined side in the athletic space, decorating on tough fabrics. So I don't know if you were expecting an answer that long. I'm really sorry.
Oh my gosh. Well, there's, I love
That was awesome. That was awesome.
so many things I heard there that I think are just super remarkable. Is one, you seem like you're a glutton for punishment a little bit. Like, you wanted to do the hardest thing possible in college. You're like, you know what? I love these war stories.
Yeah.
I want to do something really hard like that. And then the fact that you really niched down and were like, we want to do the really hard print jobs.
Mm-hmm.
We really want to do, you know, this is a problem. And you saw that as a challenge that you were like, we want to figure this out.
Right.
And I also love that it seems like your background in sports really is like something you're passionate about. So being able to serve that industry, you really brought your passion for that to this industry. And so that's a really, really, really cool background in sport. I love it.
Especially exactly, because you understood from coaching what it was like, what really attracted the players, and how hard recruiting was, and the merch, the stuff they wear. I mean, I coached a long time, did a lot of work in large select league teams and organizations, and the merch makes a difference. You know, when the kids can walk in with the right bag, the right jerseys, the right hats, it all makes a difference. And you know, dry fit, it just revolutionized that in a lot of ways too.
Yeah, and everything comes in cycles. And then also, like, especially when you're coming out of college, like, sales is a big job for people, or a big, you know, niche that people go into, and a lot of insurance or financial sales, right? And then your first customers are your parents and your relatives. I didn't really feel comfortable doing that because I didn't know what the hell I was doing. And it's a lot of responsibility. So I'm like, I can sell to all my friends and all my family and my network of people I played college baseball, college hockey, you know, wrestling, all that type of stuff with, and not actually force them to buy from me. Like, this is something that they need or want to buy because they're coaching. So it was a much easier sale. And I didn't feel, you know, guilty about it. Cause, you know, I still see my friends that are now having kids, and their kids are getting out of college and whatever. And, you know, their first thing is they're calling, hey, do you want some financial advice? I'm like, you're 22, man. Like,
Right.
No, but I get it, you know?
Good stuff.
Yeah.
That's cool. So it sounds like you've grown your business. A lot of it in the beginning was organic, word of mouth, kind of an approach.
Yeah.
And so what I want to go down to Curt real quick, because I know he's out there. Curt, are you there? Can you hear me? Yeah. Curt, how you doing down there?
I'm doing awesome, man. It's buzzing with activity down here, and I turned the screen off, but I'm loving what's going on here. So I don't know when you want to dig into it. So John, whenever you're ready to introduce the big machine here, man, it's Damon, it's a Ferrari. It's an absolute Ferrari, like right over my
That's
shoulder.
so cool.
So
So cool.
I don't know, Nicole, do you want to go there? You want to dig into this?
Yeah, let's dig right into it. So one of the really, really exciting things that Apparel Redefined and Underdog is doing is they've invested in this amazing new equipment, which is direct to garment technology.
Mhm.
And it's really state of the art. And I'm going to let John talk about this and talk more about this huge investment and that they've made in the company and what this allows them to do for their customers. I think you mentioned earlier about Underdog. I think this really, one of the things I loved about it when we were down on the floor talking to Liz is that who runs this machine is that it's on demand printing.
Mhm.
So it's a really, really great opportunity for those underdogs out there who are
Absolutely.
just starting out, who are really just, they don't have the room to have a lot of inventory, but they can print on demand. So John, I would love to hear, we would all love to hear.
Yeah, let's hear this.
What made you decide that you wanted to go in this direction?
Sure.
And tell us about this technology.
Absolutely. So our purpose as a company is to be the best company to work for and be the best partner for our clients. And how that fits in there, like every decision we make, we have to look at our purpose and our mission and see, does that align? And for our clients, we got to have, our tagline is sell more, stress less, right? So we don't ever like saying no. And to Nick and Derek right here, that I always say yes, and it puts a lot of strain on them and a production manager and inside sales, outside sales. But I don't want to say no. I would like to say, I can't do that, but here's another option, right? So I want to be able to fulfill everything that they possibly could want for their client, right? So they could be a better salesperson. So in this market, again, before COVID, like this technology, DTG, has been around for about 10 years. But us being screen print snobs, everything that we saw out there was, for lack of a better term, was crap. It didn't feel good. After a couple washes, it would fall apart. And for the last 3 years, Nick and I have traveled all over the country, the 5 major manufacturers. We did in-depth testing, on-site printing, and then it might print great, but then you take it home, wash it 4, 5, 8, 9, 10 times. And we want to make sure that it will stand next to our screen print in terms of quality and feel. And this machine really does have it.
Wow.
But again, so prior to the pandemic, the traditional fulfillment centers like Barstool Sports right now, you go on their merch site, they'll have 450 SKUs, depending on whichever region they're selling to. And the old model was that would go in a warehouse somewhere in the Midwest, they'd be stocked. It'd be a nightmare because you don't ever know how to predict how many of each size, quantity, and stuff like that. So this machine really allows brands like that are not underdogs anymore, and the underdog to be able to offer as much as you want to as many people as you want and have zero risk of inventory exposure. A one that doesn't print well, then you got to send it to, Zimbabwe, and you see them wearing, the NHL All-Star shirts and Stanley Cup stuff that never really panned out. Well, in this scenario, you don't have to worry about that. You're as good as your graphic designer essentially, and your marketing. If you can get that shirt out to as many people as possible. The good news is if you only sell one, we can make it. If you sell 5,000, we can screen print it. So you have that flexibility within our company, within our 4 walls, to never miss a sale. And that's something that was really important for us and for our clients. So that's what we were focused on.
Oh, there's so many, Damon. There's so many drop the mic moments here.
Yes.
Oh gosh, we need to savor those. Like sell more, stress less.
Yes.
That's amazing. I love that advice. Sell more, stress less. And I love too, you saw a need in the market. You saw that there were folks that were smaller that needed a solution like this. Mm-hmm. And that's just great marketing for, to be able to just really stay close to what's happening and really listen and really commit to finding a solution for them. Damon, what were you going to say? I know you had some comments.
Well, and from a manufacturing standpoint, you guys really hit the panacea, right? Because you can make one on this almost as efficient as you can make 25 probably. Mm-hmm. And that you can make the next one can be different from the one before it.
100%.
And wow, that is for you to give someone the flexibility of that. It's like, hey, let's try this design. Let's float it by some people. Let's print 3 of them and send them out to some, or 20 of them or whatever it is and go out to some tests. And if it flies, then they can hit, maybe hit a mid-size order from this machine. But then, like you said, go to volume in the screen printing once they figure out things. So It gives you like this whole lab of invention for your mind to work, which is
so
super
much
cool.
flexibility. I love that. Curt, I want to turn it over to you. Why don't you give it, Curt? You want to give us a tour down there of the machine? I see you've been doing that.
Yeah, I think
over there.
you know what. If you want to give us a minute, man, John, I'd love to know where you found Liz, because Liz is just absolutely amazing. Again, like your whole team, you've got DB sitting here, you've got Nick, Rich. I mean, the whole team here is just absolutely phenomenal. Damon, when you walk into the office here, there's all sorts of quotes from Vince Lombardi. Like you feel like running through a wall when you walk into this place. It's just so inspirational. So I think Liz is going to be, she just came off a break. She's going to be teeing up the machine. She's 21 years old. She just moved here from Portland for this machine. I don't know, John, if you want to get into that at all, but it's just so inspiring.
Very
But
cool.
so Nicole, we'll come back to you in a minute. But yeah, John, I don't know if you want to share a little bit about, that aspect with Liz and like how you guys are just tackling this.
Sure. Yeah. So, like I said, I mentioned before, we travel the country looking for the best manufacturer, best partner for this direct to garment solution. And we ran into Liz. There was a shop in Portland at the time that was running a couple of these machines. And Nick, Derek, and I were on this trip, and we said when we were there, man, we'd love Liz to work for us. Some things happened, and unfortunately that company went out of business. And Liz and us three kept in contact because we knew we were going to move forward with this decision. And I think, as time went on and I was able to talk to Liz a little bit more. I mean, it's a big move for her. Like I said, 21 years old, moving across the country away from your family. It's a huge decision.
A big jump.
Yeah. So it's been great. But we were really fortunate. You talk about stars aligning, that type of stuff. Like we go out there, that happens. She's here. Couldn't be happier. But one of the things too that you just said to the team, like for me as the leader of the company, developing the next leaders of this company, like the sports you talked about before, like you're only as good as your weakest chain, your weakest link, or your weakest player. But like I can't do anything in this company without my team. My team's absolutely phenomenal. And we spend a lot of time developing the team. And that's one of the things like you hear in manufacturing, right? Like always looking to automate, to remove people. And that's counterproductive and counterintuitive to what we really believe, because that's one of the reasons I love this industry, because it is labor intensive, right? You need a team. You need everyone working together, the graphics department, the sales department, inventory, embroidery, print, fulfillment, and everything's done in-house. And when we celebrate a success, it's a company. We have a failure, it's a company. It's not one person singled out. We really do share in the wins and losses because it does happen. And on the sales side too, right? We work with the same people over and over and over again. We have some customers that have been with me all 18 years and some longer with the company. And it's a relationship-based sale, which is almost extinct, because of the Amazons of the world. How much can you do for me today? And how cheap and how fast can you do it? We'll do fast, but we're not going to do cheap, So
you can't have both.
You can't have all three.
Yeah.
You can't have high quality,
That's true.
fast, and cheap. You can have two of those three, but three is you're not going to, one's going to suffer. So, but again, I just want to bring attention to my team, outside of this room, who's in here, downstairs, out on the floor. Can't say enough about the men and women here from all different backgrounds that have really, really propelled our company to where we're at and where we're going to go as well.
I love that.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it reminds me of, we just had a live show. You were there, Damon, yesterday. We met a wonderful entrepreneur at Paddock Power Pedestals, and she, same thing. I mean, just such a focus on team and culture and such humility and just really respect for the team. So thank you for sharing that, John. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
And
David.
in addition to it, it's everyone that makes you successful, right down to the person that puts that last garment or piece of whatever in the box and ships it off to the person, because if they just slam it in there and it looks like heck, that's the customer experience, open it up. But if it's put in there with love and caring, it's a completely different experience. It takes everybody from the beginning to end to do it right. And that's so cool that you're seeing that and helping them, help build them.
So true, Damon. Love it. Curt, are you ready for us down there? Aha.
So, hey, Rich is coming up. And so, Nicole, for some reason on your end, it keeps freezing. So Rich is going to come up and take a look at it. And maybe,
Okay.
I don't know if we almost even be better off putting it on a hotspot. But so Liz is going to be pulling up a program. She's off doing a couple of things, but
Nice.
I just want to, I don't know, let's take a little tour on this. And
Yeah.
so, John, if you look at these misters up here, talk about the misters and just everything that's going on this machine.
Yeah, I mean, with us being, number 5 in the globe, there's things that us and the manufacturer are learning as well. So humidity is a big factor in digital printing. The print heads always have to be in a constant state of moisture. And Chicago in the summer is humid, but in the winter it's dry. And you have to add humidity to the production space, and that's what those dry fog little misters are doing. You think humidity and you think, wet, but that's not the case, because you don't want everything to be soaked, so this technology is really cool. If you put your hand a foot away from the mist, you don't feel any wetness. It's just pure dry humidity, if that makes any sense.
Seems like an oxymoron.
Yeah.
Dry
Yeah.
humidity.
Yeah.
That's,
Super cool. And the technology in this thing is probably amazing too.
Whatever you're doing, but your video is freezing, everybody else's is flowing, but you guys are.
Okay.
Okay.
Just FYI.
Thank
Hey,
you.
guys, look at this. Damon.
Yeah.
She hails from the great Northwest out in your neck of the woods. So this is Liz. Liz is from Portland. Liz, what's going on here?
Basically, right now, just loading up some beautiful artwork to print and showcase to you guys.
Awesome.
Love to see it.
Awesome.
While she's pulling that up, so she grabs the shirts over here. We've seen all sorts of awesome examples. If you look at the screen,
Wow.
she's
Wow.
she's programming all this. And
This is cool.
I think, Jaclyn, how are you doing?
I'm good. We're just watching our new tech team fix the Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
Awesome.
There we go.
Hey,
What happens
appreciate
when
you guys
go
taking a
live,
look at
right?
this.
You need,
John, so I've heard bits and pieces. Did you get into this is one of 5 machines on the planet? Did you get into how Rock Now is just such as the Ferrari of your industry? And I apologize if I missed that.
No, yeah, we talked a little bit about it. Yeah, there's more than 5 machines. This is the 5th location.
Okay.
Semantics, but either way, there's 3 big players in the market right now, and we decided to partner with Rock, mainly based on service and quality. And Liz can attest to that. She's been working on the specific machines, and now this is a 3rd generation of this machine. And she's had great experience, and she's also a big reason why her input, we decided to go with Rock.
Okay.
Well, and let's ask Liz, is she excited to be put on the spot today on camera?
I've always been a pretty camera person. I mean, living as a 21-year-old woman in the realm of social media, I've never been shy of that. So I got really public speaking, so I'm not too worried about it.
Yeah. She is wise, way beyond her years. And so, Jaclyn, I definitely asked her. She said, "Oh yeah, come on over, no problem." So this is hey, we got the TikTok generation down here. So we're rocking it. So let's see what we've got going here with Liz. Let's do it.
This thing.
Set him up there too. You totally can move that fan in that part.
I'm surprised Kurt's not running the machine yet.
I know.
No. We don't let Curt do that. We don't let Curt do that. We don't let Curt do that.
Yeah, no, that would not be good, man. I'm not Jaclyn in my house. I'm not allowed to touch a microwave.
Yeah.
And Damon, I can't even touch an iron, dude. I
No,
needed
yeah,
you this morning, man. Do you see how wrinkled my shirt is?
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's a
Damon,
mess.
he was so stressed this morning about his shirt. He's like, Nicole, I need Damon. I need this team.
Well, I'm coming to a direct-to-garment place, Nicole.
Yeah.
I got a little top notch for the team, for John's team here. So yeah, all right. So Damon, we're getting things loaded in here.
Yeah.
Again, let me just give you a little look at this thing. I mean, just look at this facility. I mean, it's just state of the art. You can you could eat off the floor. big American
Oh,
flag
cool.
when you walk in. It's just like, this
nice.
place is just fire, man.
Nice. So what's the first step it's doing to the?
Yeah, once I get these loaded, I can kind of walk you guys.
All right. Awesome.
Give us a
That's
little
great.
tour here.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, this is gonna be cool.
So, hey, I'm going to pull in DB for a minute. So, Derek, and again, like I've been hearing bits and pieces, some things I've missed, but Derek, from the sales side, just talk about like your perspective, like who you guys are targeting. Let's just share a little bit about like from your world on the sales side of things here at Apparel.
Yeah, absolutely. So kind of 4 years ago coming into the building, just kind of had like a different clientele basis. I had been in the industry 4 prior years to that and have just been heavily focused on the graphic tee side, which is kind of adjacent to what the sports apparel is. You know, it's more artsy fartsy, high color stuff. It's not solid logos, names, and numbers. So it kind of gets into the nitty gritty and the real nerdy stuff about screen printing, which goes all the way down to your screen creation, your artwork separations, you know, your ink colors, and just kind of a little bit different process. Where I was previously was fortunately a 100% water-based shop, which is a different type of ink as versus plastisol, which is really heavily used across the screen print industry as a standard. But I think in the days of lighter garments and things like that, people want water-based ink for a lighter feel and just more so the fashion side and just those kind of capabilities. So I had that background in just kind of the small clientele that I brought with me over here was heavily based into, you know, that was their need. You know, they wanted a soft feel, high color, stuff like that. And so, you know, this has kind of been a model that allows those artsy people to not order 144 pieces at a time because it's a 10 color print. Otherwise, it's going to cost you an arm and a leg. And if you're stuck with that inventory, if it was a, you know, crappy design that nobody wanted, but they thought it was a one-hit wonder and they, you know, ordered their life savings of 500 shirts and now they can't do anything with it. This kind of alleviates that and allows you to not say no to people, like, which is what John said. Like, you don't miss a sale because, you know, if it doesn't sell, you don't need to hold inventory. You can test the market. You can do a sample, send it out to your event, do pre-sales, let people touch it, feel it, see it before, you know, they set up an online store, things like that. So this has really pushed the boundary as to what you can offer, especially now with the stuff that you and DD have been doing with SEO and how we're going to try and, you know, get in front of somebody's face, you know, right away. You know, you see them search the web for, you know, custom printed t-shirts an hour ago. It's like, okay, how do we get them a sample with their logo on it, you know, in 24 hours? You know, Nick's a big fisherman here. So we're kind of using this fishing terminology, just throwing things in front of people and seeing if they bite on it. And I think, you know, this brings that probability scale up extremely high, especially when, you know, you're delivering something with such a personable touch, I think, in a quick amount of time.
Love that.
So it allows you to serve your market with almost zero resources.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah.
So much flexibility there. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, I love to. Oh, go ahead, Curt. Go ahead.
No, that's fantastic. What were you going to say, Nicole?
I was just going to say, we just met with an amazing entrepreneur yesterday afternoon who has he's built his business on Amazon. And one of the things he said to us multiple times is traffic is money. Traffic is money. And I thought that was so brilliant. Like the more traffic you can get, the more visibility you can get to your brand. That translates into dollars. So it's really exciting. You guys are looking ahead and seeing like SEO and investing in that is, you know, really going to help grow that side of your business. So I'd love to dive into that a little bit more. But Curt, you want to turn it before we talk to Jaclyn? Jaclyn in.
So hey, speaking of money, man, let's show me the money right now, right? So Liz is going to give us a little demo here.
Love it.
So first, there are 2 different kinds of pre-treat, one for white garments and then one for color garments. So that's going to lay down your layer of pre-treat here, which is all programmable of how much you want to put down on it, where you place it. It all depends on the size of the artwork. Then it's going to go here to your flash unit, and it's going to dry up that pre-treat, make sure you get a nice solid base to print on. And same thing here with your heat presses. Basically like a giant iron. It's just going to lay everything down. It's going to cure that pre-treat to the garment. So make sure you get a really nice solid base to start printing on. So you've got 2 of those. It's just a cooling station. It kind of lets your garment rest before it gets its white layer here. Here is the white cabinet. As soon as it indexes, you can actually watch it lay down onto the garment. I was just telling them earlier that my favorite thing is how open this machine is, and you can see every single process and every step of the way as your shirt's being printed, which is really nice and interesting to see. So then it's going to get its white layer there. And after that, it gets a third flash to cure that white to the garment itself and make sure you get a nice tacky base to lay down your color layer on top of. There's a nice viewing station here. It's good for resting. It lets it kind of relax into the garment itself, and then that way you can actually see how your white layer is turning out, what it's printing like. So you get to see every step of the way here.
Hey, Damon.
Yes.
21 years old.
Yeah, that's so cool.
What
Very
were you
cool.
doing at 21? Because I was nowhere near Liz at 21. I can tell you that right now. So this is really impressive.
Yeah, it's so cool.
And then yes, it moves on to your color. It gets a 4th and final flash, and then this is another heat press here, but you can change out the paper on it to give a different hand feel, a different finish to your final print before it cures, which is really fun. You can get matte, shiny, softer hand feel, those type of things with that final heat press there. Then once it's finished up, it comes all the way around here to your offload station, and you'll be able to throw it through your dryer, and it's cured and ready to go.
Wow.
Amazing.
There we go, Damon. Making T-shirts, right?
Bada bing, bada boom. That's how the magic happens.
So that was our little tour. So
very cool.
All right, Nicole, why don't you pick it back up? And how we doing on time? We're doing good on time. So hey Nick, I have a question for Nick, being an operations guy. Just share a little insight on your perspective from like what inspired it from your perspective to make this massive investment.
I would say partially to operate in a segment that that is underserved. I mean, this technology, like John said, has been available for like 10 years, but what Rock has changed is they've put that workflow all in one line. So on every other technology, each component that it just went to is an offline system, which you used to have to do manually. It would be a person at each one of those types of things, either loading it for the pre-treat or pressing it and stuff like that. So what they've done now is put it all into one workflow, and it offers a unique opportunity to scale.
Yeah, that's really something. It's really something.
Well, I know you can't see me. Here I am, right here. I wanted to just point out we have I want to mention some of the folks who've come to tune in. We've got Whitney here, and she says spending time to develop the team. That's amazing that she shared that. We've got Zahua Wang in the house. We've got MD Abdul Salam. And James Kunkel says, hey, excellent. Right. Thank you so much. Thank you guys for joining us today. If you're just coming to us, we're here with Underdog Apparel and Apparel Redefined. We're meeting with John and DB.
Hey, Nicole.
Yes.
Check this. Look at this thing.
Oh my gosh, it looks
look at this.
Beautiful.
And so, and the thing is, what Liz showed us earlier, like they literally have like this magnifying glass, Damon, and it's just you go in and you see the texture. Liz, you want to talk about that real quick?
Yeah. So this machine, the way it works, the color layer, it lays down in neat droplets, which are very like microscopic droplets, and that way you can take your CMYK values and combine them to create really vibrant colors. And with the magnifying glass, you're able to see all those individual droplets, especially under a microscope, into bigger depth and bigger detail to kind of understand what colors are going in to create this specific can show.
Yeah, that's something.
I gotta say, like, it's pretty amazing for us to be able to be on the floor like this and be able to show how the sausage gets made, you know? Like, this is pretty remarkable to get behind the scenes with the manufacturer and have them show their magic and what they're doing and the passion that they put into
the colors.
Look at those colors.
Man, it's
Amazing.
just so cool.
We'd like to go get some ice cream. We just saw an ice cream shirt. So,
and to think those all came out completely different designs, just bink, 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 like that. Yeah. That is very cool technology.
This right here, man. How about this right here? A couple of Air Jordans right there.
Look at that. Look at that.
That's perfect.
I think Nick, was that your hero? Was Michael?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Did I hear that correctly?
There's a good one of Jay Cutler on there too.
Very nice.
That was a hero of mine. So Nicole, I'm gonna pass it back up to you. We're having it, man. It is just fire down here on the floor. It is just so cool. Just Damon, I know you got terrible FOMO right now. Like I can see the jealousy, but I don't feel bad for you. Sorry, but anyway, we're having a great time here.
Again, we're after this, Damon. Sorry.
We'll fly out for tomorrow. But hey, John, so I'm gonna get into like the entrepreneurial journey, man. It's like this is a lot. I mean, do you ever take a minute to like just appreciate like what you've done, like the number of people that have jobs here thanks to you, like, you know? And the thing is, it's not that it's a job, like you have people that are providing for their families here, you know, like you know, I've become real good buddies with Derek. You know, he takes his kids camping over the weekend. Like there's a story. It's not like, oh, I have 20 people on the floor or whatever, but like it's a very powerful experience. Like I'm getting chills right now just thinking about it. But John, do you ever like take a moment and like just really relish what you've accomplished here at such a young age?
No. Yeah, I mean, I appreciate, you know, that, but you know, I for me, we talked a little bit earlier about who was a hero of yours, and like my uncle, and then a couple other people I worked for when I was young that were entrepreneurs too. And I'm like, hey, what do you think when I decided to do this? And he told me something that really does resonate with me is that, you know, you have a great responsibility now. Like you're in charge of people's families, like you just said, and you provide for them. So like, I feel like if I do think too much about that, I'll stop thinking about the future. And if you're not growing, you're dying. And for me, it's what's always kind of driven me, other than being ultra competitive, is collective earned success, right? And again, having everyone on the team succeed. And we're nowhere near where I want everyone to be. And my people that, you know, have listened to me and followed and believed in our vision, I want all of them to share in the success that we will achieve down the road. And don't get me wrong, we've come a long way, but we're nowhere near where we're going to be soon. So cool. I really appreciate that. I mean, I try to be humble, but yeah, I do think about it sometimes. But again, it's to even have that thought is a luxury that's afforded to me by having a great team. So yeah, I appreciate it.
That's beautiful. It goes back to what you said.
Mic drop moment.
Mic drop the mic. But it goes back to what you said earlier about sell more, stress less, and really focus on the future. So what is the future look like for Apparel Redefined and Underdog Apparel? What is it that you're building towards and that you guys are working to achieve together?
Well, I mean, I believe we can be a $100 million company. We want to serve the entire United States geographically, right? You know, one thing that Amazon, again, in terms of speed of what they've kind of focused the American consumer is point of sale, right? You know, so like that last mile type of delivery. Our industry is archaic. You know, it's unbelievable when we go to conferences and we see products that are coming out, because I've loved manufacturing, you know, like we said, how the sausage is made. Every time I get to go look at a manufacturing facility and see how things are done, like that's my favorite show, how it's made, you know, and how many hands actually touch it. We don't even actually sew the t-shirt here. But if you think about like Venezuela and those areas where there's probably like 200 different hands that actually touch one t-shirt that you go by, which is insane to think.
It is.
But yeah, I mean, it's got it. I just lost my train of thought where I was at.
It's okay. That's what happens when you go live, you know? No worries.
To try to focus on that last mile, the 2 days.
Oh, yeah. So the vision of the company. So there's 7 UPS ground zones, FedEx ground zones across the country. And for us to continue to expand, people want faster, right? But we'll lose 4 or 5 days ground to the West Coast. And for us to have a shop in the Vegas area and be able to serve that market in 1 to 2 days, somewhere in Colorado to be able to serve that market in 1 to 2 days, because there's a need for what we do. Again, archaic industry, getting back into my train of thought, leveraging the human capital with technology is something that was not even talked about 5 years in the industry. So we developed our own software called Nomos, which helps the customer interact with us, because the information that's coming to us in terms of like garments, colors, quantities, that type of stuff. It's out there, but how do you aggregate it? The way I can kind of like compare it to is like, imagine if you're a bank, right? And then everyone's coming to you with all different forms of currency. And then you have a customer, your internal customer, your tellers that you have to aggregate all these different currencies and turn it into the US dollar so that everyone can kind of understand it. And that's what Nomos does. It takes information from all different clients, all different customers all across the United States, aggregates it into one digital format so that everyone on our floor can understand, hey, this is a t-shirt, it's getting red and white print, and here's the location. So for us to be able to serve the United States better, we need to have more locations across the United States. And what that will also do is bring consistency of quality, color, and speed to our biggest client base across the United States. So that's the vision. That's our BHAG, our big, hairy, audacious goal.
Nice.
I love it.
You know, so that's it. I know it's lofty, but shoot for the moon, you hit the stars, as my dad said. So
shoot for the moon, you'll hit the stars. I love that.
I think I got that backwards. Shoot for the stars.
There you go.
Sorry, Dad.
We knew where you're at, man. It was good. It was good.
Yeah. Well, how do you guys feel, DB and Nick, being part of this vision, this team? Like, from your perspective, what has this journey been like for you? And what are you excited about for the future of the company?
I'm excited specifically for that vision. So when I came here, I believe, like a year before you. And I came from a different team dealer. It was actually a customer that was selling. He was getting out of the business. So I came here specifically to go to college. So management and organizational behavior. What I like about small business and growing business is that, again, my goal was probably to go into a corporate, the corporate world like John. But what I like about here is that every decision that you get to make really impacts how either the success or failure. And like John said, we've learned a lot from failure, and we do it as a team. And we actually chose to do all of the hardest garments that are out there. Right. So I love the challenge of that. And I love the challenge of our vision of becoming the nation's premier athletic decorator and moving to all these different states.
I love it. John, you're building a team of champions here. That's cool.
Thank
what
you.
do you think?
Just the promising environment that, John kind of creates here. Being in the industry, it is a very, as he's stated, archaic, stuck in your way. And just the advancement that has happened over the past 4 years. I mean, you look at this and, we've been, around the country looking and trying to make the right decision on this, and just the amount of effort that is put forth here. It's not going to be a stagnant and stale business. It's going to always keep pushing forward. So that's exciting. It's a very problem solving industry. So that's what I enjoy. It's how do you conquer the next, jersey that just came out and it has God knows what content in it, or or Nick's, trying to get me to laser this skateboard for the past 2 years. And it's just, how do you achieve those things? And, that's why I stick around in this industry. And it's fun, and it's just a good environment.
Well, I love that. You can feel that can-do spirit as part, everywhere you go, as that kind of like feel it as part of the culture. Well, I'd love to turn some time over to Jaclyn and learn a little bit more about what IMEC, how you guys decided to reach out to IMEC, what inspired you to connect with Jaclyn and the IMEC team, and what's that been like for you guys?
Yeah. So, another thing, kind of like my dad always said, is like when I was applying for jobs, like tell the world, right? And we don't do a good job of telling the world what we do. And that was a really big core focus for us for our 2023 goals for our leadership team is we need to be better on social. We need to be better at marketing. We need to have marketing. We haven't, the fortunate thing is we haven't spent $1 on marketing at all, up until about a month ago when we first started doing a couple of campaigns. So, you really look at it as an advantage, where we're able to have pretty consistent, solid year-over-year growth without kind of turning on the floodgates, right? So Dave Musgrave is our regional director out of IMEC. Again, kind of stars align, reach out to me via email. Hey, we got this grant program. Are you interested? I'm always wary of those emails. Yes. We're still getting ERC emails, and I'm like, that's just PPP. It's like, what the hell? But anyhow, different story. I'm like, come on in. And he came in, saw the place. I think you would qualify for, there's 15, I think, different like areas and 5 different silos of what you could look at. And we sat down with our leadership team. We looked at, ironically, lean process improvement, which we're actually doing right now with a lean process consultant we hired. We looked at the marketing aspect, and we looked at automation. So we decided on marketing collectively as a team. And it's been great with Curt. Curt and his team have been absolutely phenomenal. Derek, DB, and DD working together on a weekly basis to really drive things forward, redo our website, work on the SEO channels, do the customer journey experience. We've been thrilled and very thankful for the opportunity.
Yeah, it's been great to get to know you guys and work with you. So IMEC is the Illinois Manufacturing Excellence Center. Our goal is to serve all types of Illinois manufacturers with anything from quality, ISO certs, lean, growth. So I'm with these guys working through a big growth journey. They're all in on their SEO program. We're really hoping to see it drive some positive results. And all of that was brought to the table through Cook County's Manufacturing Reinvented grant initiative that's going on currently. So this partnership's great, working with Curt and his team, working with these guys at Apparel, teaming up with Cook County and IMEC is a win-win.
Love that. It's
good.
just so amazing to see everything that IMEC's doing and contributing to so many manufacturers here in Illinois. And working with Curt, I've been able to see and experience that firsthand. And it's just really remarkable what you guys have been doing and how you're seeing American manufacturing. It's great. We love it. So Curt, I'd love to turn it over to you. What's it been like for you working with Underdog?
Yeah. And so,
you guys have been doing it.
well, man, it's like this hour is flying by. So I want to be mindful, like they're super busy and there's a lot happening here. So I want to be mindful of everybody's time. But Jaclyn, first off, thank you for this incredible opportunity. Thank you for connecting us with the amazing, incredible team here at Underdog Apparel. And just what an honor and privilege it is just to get to know these guys. And like you said, Damon, we just love this week in and week out, like getting underneath the hood of, great, there's American manufacturing renaissance. And like, Nicole and I, you and I saw it in Alaska 2 weeks ago, shop by shop, manufacturer by manufacturer. We're here in Chicago this week. So it doesn't matter what state you're in. And so speaking of whatever state you're in, there is an MEP near you, Manufacturing Extension Partnership. So I'd say the folks in Illinois are very blessed to have IMEC. They are doing incredible work with manufacturers up and down the state here in Chicagoland, just doing wonderful work. And Jaclyn, thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule to join us today. But just a lot of exciting things. So Nicole, why don't we start winding down and we'll come into the home stretch. Now I think I heard John might be a baseball fan, so there might be a baseball question for John here. But we've got Derek over here, Rich is over here. You guys met Liz. Again, it's just, there's just great people putting out just incredible products. So John, we salute you, we applaud you, we commend you for just the relentless entrepreneurial drive that you have. And so Damon, this is just awesome stuff here, man. This is a lot of good stuff.
Yeah, it's so great. And you guys are an incredible, Underdog, and just such an incredible example of the business right around the corner that's making a difference in people's lives, first of all, in your community. And man, that just hits me when I see that. You're, like you said earlier, Curt, you got, and John, you mentioned it too, the enormous responsibility of helping these people live great lives through your business, and then seeing your passion and how your business vision for the business in the future. Oh, that's a great shot right there. And they're literally so cool because this is the heart of our country. And we can't forget this.
So true. My dad owned a manufacturing company. I'm a 4th generation entrepreneur. And so I have seen firsthand, grew up seeing the impact that he had on so many lives. And I love seeing you building that here too. It's very, very exciting. So thanks for letting us be a part of it and get to feel a part of what you're building today. And Curt, I'm going to let you ask the closing question because this question is pretty amazing. So take it away.
Okay. We're having a little goofy internet here today on our end. So I apologize for that. So John, we might have to come back and do this again. But so John, my question to you as we wind down the program, I know you're a hockey player from college, right? But did I hear you say that you're a baseball player?
Yes.
Are you a Cubs fan, White Sox? What are we?
White Sox, but frustrated White Sox fan.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
that's
Hey,
been for
John,
years.
we always had 2005, right? Was it 2005 the last World Series? Am I close or somewhere around there? 6, 5,
right.
whatever.
05.
So, okay. So here's my question for you as we wind down the program. So first off, thank you to the entire team, Nick, DB, Jaclyn, John. But John, my question for you is this. If the White Sox, let's say hypothetically, just asking for a friend, let's say it's bottom of the ninth, okay?
Mhm.
Playing the White Sox are playing, like, who's the nemesis? Like, who do the Tigers, right? We hate the Tigers here in Chicago. So say they're playing the Tigers, bottom of the ninth, it's tie score. There's a guy on second, okay? And the manager of the White Sox turns on the bench and he says, hey, Leroy, dude, get up here, put in the winning run. When you walk up to the plate, what's your walk-up song?
I got to go to ode to my right-hand guy here, Eye of the Tiger, Earl Morris.
Nice.
That's a good one.
That's a winner.
Yeah. Well, thanks. I mean, you guys, again, phenomenal. I love the feature of manufacturing because one of the things we talk about here too is like, I want to bring folks to like create careers, not just jobs for people, and focus on the do. I feel like it's the sexy thing to talk about the sale, but no one really cares about how the sausage is made, and you have to make it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Someone's got to do it. And, especially before COVID, everything is being offshore to China and now nearshore down in Venezuela and middle America. But we have such an amazing superpower here to manufacture that needs to be reawakened and to drive purpose and meaning to life, and to work. And we have it. It's just that people don't talk about it. It's dingy. You know what I mean? Like it kind of got that negative connotation on the uncle that's a plumber and the other one that's an electrician, but those are not the jobs that will ever be replaced by AI.
Right.
So it's very powerful to have
true.
that skill and have that drive to make America great again.
Yes.
So true.
Love
I
it.
love it. Yep. And manufacturers, I think by nature, they're behind the scenes. There's everyone we meet is so
Just doing
humble. And I think that's the part, like they are the backbone of our country. They're
100%.
backbone of our economy,
Just doing
of
it.
our communities. And, we just love being able to put the spotlight on all the work that you guys are doing because it's important, I mean,
Yeah,
we
we
really
appreciate
think about it.
Yeah.
So very cool. Well, Damon, I'm going to turn it over to you, my friend. I'm channeling my inner Curt.
There we go. Well, thanks for inviting us in today, guys. We really appreciate this and being able to go down to the floor, see the equipment, see the people, see what you guys are doing and sharing it with us. Thanks so much. Thanks for IMEC for getting Curt and the team and Nicole and everyone involved and sure is exciting hearing about your journey and your vision. I think we're good, Curt. I think this is another manufacturing e-commerce success series. A wrap. We are at Underdog Apparel Partners, talking with them and IMEC and how they're moving forward, man.
Yeah, good stuff, dude. So, team, thank you, everybody that joined us today. God bless you if you're catching us later on the replay. Boy, anything you missed, go back and rewind. Lots of golden nuggets here, and just what we love to say to close out, man. Just be someone's inspiration, Damon, because boy, I tell you, hanging out here with Liz, DB, DD, Rich, John, Nick, the whole team here is just pure inspiration. This is just gold. So Jaclyn, thank you, my friend. You throw a great party, man. I love hanging out with Jaclyn. And so, man, what a we've been besties for a long time. We just finally got to meet in person finally. So Jaclyn, thank you guys. So Nicole, why don't you go ahead and close it out, and we need to come back here again and do this for part 2. So
Thanks you guys. And thank you guys. It's been such a pleasure. And we're closing it out here with the Windy City today. So everyone have a wonderful day. And everyone who listened in, thanks for listening. Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, you guys.
It's not done yet.